Hello, welcome to the extra footage. Come with me as we go on a little hike here. This is one of those videos where I will be starting my extra footage before my main Walk in the Spirit video. I'm going to do that further down the path. So we are at a new location. This is the same trail system as you would find in my Thanksgiving video. But further down. I've never even been here at all before in my life. You know, I've driven past here. To be honest, I did not know about these trails until I started doing hiking videos and been looking for new places to go. Some of the reviews say here it is very wet and marshy, but I got boots on, so we should be good. So there is a marsh here behind me. In my last week's video, there was snow on the ground. There's still some snow here. Half of my city still has snow, half does not. Where my house is, we have snow on the ground there still, but it has melted here. Let's just do a spin. This is part of the wildlife sanctuary at again, I've done like several videos at the wildlife sanctuary now because there's so much content area to see, but this is kind of maybe a mile down the road from there. Well, some more of the kind of trees and woods we've seen in my Thanksgiving videos here. A lot of these bent over trees here. It's very interesting. I don't know what kind of trees they are. If they grow that way naturally, or if it's due to wind or a storm that made them tilt this way, I don't know. Like a previous video where I walked into the forest and to do my main video, I had more extra footage afterwards. That's probably going to happen today, but there probably won't be a very long video today in the extra footage. There are roads all around here, so you will hear traffic. I do see some popple trees here. For example, right there, there's a popple tree. And there's more over here, you'll see them. Oh, here's another one here. So some popples are more yellow, some are more white. That one seems to be more white. There were 3 cars in the parking lot. I don't know if you saw the parking lot there. There are dedicated, walkers and hikers even through winter, but I'm believing there's a lot less during the, the colder months. This is another quite old popple tree here, you see. Those are the trees, by the way, if you haven't seen from my previous video where I talked about them. They use those to make paper. There were 2 summers in my youth where I helped family members cut and peel popple trees. I call them popple. The real pronunciation is poplar. But where I grew up, many people call it popple. I have two uncles who spent, I think, their entire livelihood cutting them. Yeah, it's definitely marshier here, but the ground is pretty dry. The path. I'm going to do another spin over here so you can see. I want to get to an opener area here. I think it's about 35 degrees. Wind is about 4 or 5 miles an hour. I have the selfie stick at the furthest length since it's a pretty calm day. I think it'll turn to 35 in the next hour or so. It's supposed to get up to 36. I'm guessing it's around 34, maybe 35. I'm going to do another spin here, show you the shot behind me. I think it's pretty. Isn't that beautiful back there behind me? I just love it. It's just beautiful. This is one of those trail systems where they don't want you leaving the trail. No picking up deer antlers, the rule said. No picking flowers. Leave the wildlife alone. It's a wildlife sanctuary, so no hunting, obviously. I did a video mid-fall at the college system, and they didn't want you leaving the trail system either. Now we're headed to an area that is a local city dump area, and the wildlife sanctuary goes through that, so you'll be seeing that up ahead, unless of course that's where I start my new video, which I think is going to happen. And again, we'll continue with some extra footage afterwards. Hello. I wish I could remember more of the map in my head where I want to start my other video. I think I'm going to do it up here. So folks, I'm going to be shutting this down, and more than likely we'll have some more footage afterwards. See you again soon. Now I'll be passing through. This is part of the wildlife sanctuary system, and in the middle of it is the local drop-off for like brush and refuse and stuff like that. So you'll be seeing that. It's right here. Matter of fact, I pulled in here a few minutes ago seeing if this is where I should park, but I didn't see any parking rules here, so I went down to the main parking lot back there. And there's like two or three trail systems here. I walked through half of a trail system to get to this one, so I had a little walk before here to get to this video. It is a little muddy here where I'm walking. Oh, I see a couple cars parked here. I could have parked here, I guess. You see behind me, waste dump area. I'll be right back, folks. Gonna do a little walk here. Alright, welcome back. We are continuing our extra footage. I just finished my walk in the Spirit, and if you want to see that video, you can find it here. Alright, continue with me as we walk back to the car. Once again, I don't know how long we have before I get to the parking lot. So, we'll just enjoy what we have while we can. It's beautiful here. Once again, I'm wondering what some of these places look like in the summer. know, I'm going to share why I like hiking so much. I kind of talked about this in my first walk in the Spirit. I've told a little bit about it in various videos, but let's speak on it more in detail. When I was in 2nd grade, my dad came out of the military. He was in the Marines. And then we rented a house from my great-grandparents while he had a house built on the family property. And then at the age of 8, we moved to the family property, and there was probably about 500 acres of land that my family owned. My dad, my grandpa, my uncles all had conjoining properties. 2 lakes, a creek, some sand dunes, farm fields, and lots of woods. The nearest town was 5 miles away. This was in the 70s. And my dad said, I can wander the woods as much as I wanted. Back then, people could trust their kids, you know, more than nowadays. Well, mostly people live in cities these days, so you can't really let kids run around. But my dad did that, and I loved walking through those woods. I had a cousin 2 years younger than me, and he would come, and I would take him around. He liked to fish and hunt more than I did. I was never one for fishing, although I did like hunting. And he was always impressed how well I knew the land, you know. Because at the age of 8, I just started exploring it. And so that's where my desire and enjoyment of walking in the woods is. And when I was first married and my kids were younger, I would go camping. And there are some, I think, some national forests in northern Wisconsin. And I went and found a place up there where the campsites were. You actually had to hike to. You could not park your car. You had to hike at least a minimum, I think like a mile and a quarter to the first camp spot. So here we are back at the collection area of like wood and stuff like that. Not sure if they call it garbage here. I think it's mostly wood waste. But I started going to this campground up north. We had actually hike in to your campsite. And I went up there many times and spent weekends just hiking those trails up there. I loved it. I just love hiking. So, growing up in the country, I just love being in the woods. And again, in my hiking videos, extra footage videos, I don't do any preaching or teaching, but there was a YouTube preacher who I found in 2017 who did these videos with his GoPro. He was in his 70s. And he started doing these, he called them walking in the Word. And he would be outside his apartment building and talking about the Bible and current events and things like that. Basically things I do in my walk in the Spirit. And I was inspired by him to do that. Now, he was older, and his name is Alan Horvath. And let's do a spin here. He did say early on in those videos that he was going to go to other places, and he never did. And then about, I think it's a year and a half now, maybe 2 years, I don't know. Somewhere between a year and 2 years ago, he died. And he did those videos, I think, for a year, maybe a year and a half before he got sick and stopped doing them. And he doesn't like winter, so when winter came, he did his sit in the Spirit, and he would just do it inside his apartment. But he was the one that inspired me to do this. I really, really enjoyed those videos, even though I disagree with him on teachings and other things. So I got inspired to do that myself, got a GoPro, and started doing that. And then I realized, I had all this extra footage, so I would start doing more extra footages, videos, and make a separate playlist for those. for people who are not interested in my teachings, who just want to enjoy nature. And so now I get to do one of my favorite things, walking in the woods and recording it. I just love it. So that's why, that's how I do these videos and why I like hiking so much. Now there are going to be, like people do super hiking, go into the mountains for weeks at a time or for a whole weekend and just hike and say what I'm doing is not real hiking. Maybe. I did once when I lived in Texas. I was going to a church down there. A guy in the church who I knew, was friendly with, he says, "Steve, why don't come with me, go camping in Arkansas." So I said, well, okay, I will. So we went to Arkansas camping, and it was one of those hiking camping things. So we, in the mountains of Arkansas, we hiked, I think it's 3 or 4 days, starting in one place, crossing the mountains, and ending at another place. That would have been a true hiking experience. So I have actually done that. It was wonderful. I loved it. Those mountains were beautiful. They're small mountains, nothing like Colorado. I've been to the mountains in Colorado. It's part of my testimony. But again, I'm not going to share that here. So that's why I love being in the woods. I've just been doing it most of my life. I think once winter comes in the thick and we have lots of snow on the ground, I don't know how much of these kinds of trails I'm going to do. I notice the snow melts more, like on pavement, so I'll probably be sticking to trails that have pavement where the snow won't build so much up and maybe more people walk on it so that, there are packed snow. We'll see. I do plan on continuing to do videos through winter. Probably going to have to do repeat trails. I probably have covered 75-80% of the trails in the Green Bay area since starting all these videos. There are a few that I haven't touched yet or missed parts of. There's 2 main bike trails in the Green Bay system, bike trails, and the one I've covered like 90% of it, or 85, somewhere around there. I plan on covering more of that and try to finish that. The other bike trail, I did a little bit of it. It's super popular. It's next to the river. I probably will be skipping that one. We'll see. Maybe I can do that one in the winter. Probably less people then. That's a good idea. Didn't think about that. So I'll probably do that one in winter. It's not going to be so much, woodsy. It'll be next to the river through downtown. Alright, we'll do a little spin here on this bridge. I dressed up really warm. I'm definitely warm. Well, and here is the parking lot. So, okay. That's going to conclude our extra footage today. I'm guessing we probably got at least 15 minutes. I don't think we got 30. I'm guessing between 15 to 30 minutes, somewhere in there. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again soon, Lord willing. Bye-bye.